Hello, good day everyone. My name is Erai Paul Kulu. I'm a SAP consultant from Jazz Limited. May I introduce you to Jazz Limited? Jazz Limited is an information technology consulting firm that specializes in SAP ERP implementation, support, training, and system enhancement for large scale enterprises. So, we have strong focus on oil and gas, manufacturing, logistics industries, and we provide end-to-end technology solutions that empower businesses to optimize operations, to enhance decision making and achieve digital transformation. We also cover general IT such as software development, networking, database management. So, our team is made up of certified SAP consultants and also other IT professionals that have very good experience, good background in IT industry. So you can contact us via our email jazzresourceslimited at gmail.com or via the mobile number on the screen, and we're available to respond to your business needs accordingly. So I'll be taking you through a virtual tour on ACP. So SAP stands for Systems, Application and Products in Data Processing. For those of you who have not used SAP before or who have not heard about SAP before, SAP is an ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning Tool. So as at the time we made this research, 10 million users already subscribed, 30,000 installations the world over, 1,000 partners, 21 industry solutions. Um, this is basically how big and how far SAP has gone. So SAP is the fourth largest software company in the world. There are a lot of other big softwares around the globe. SAP happens to take the fourth position. SAP R3 system is a business software package designed to integrate all areas of business. I repeat, all areas of business. So, in a typical organization, you have units or departments, like, for example, the finance department, you have the maintenance, you have the security, you have the procurement, you have the sales department, and so on. So, all these departments or these units uh, form the integral parts of an organization. So, SAP is able to integrate these units together. You agree with me that way back when organizations were still using um, legacy systems like Excel, departments will maintain different databases. And if you need any information in any department, you need to call the department or you need to walk to the department and get that information. But since SAP came into the market and companies are beginning to use SAP, this has made that very, very easy. So you simply just log into SAP and you can get any information from any department. For example, you need your payslip from the from the HR department. You can log in and print your payslip very easily. Again, you need to know the materials in your warehouse. You can just log into SAP and you know the quantities of materials available at any given time. You want to know the contracts that are open, that are still running. You simply log in and you check that at the comfort of your office. So SAP has made everything very, very easy. So, SAP is just one of the ERPs we have in the market today. So, we have lots of other ERPs in the market, but SAP happens to be the number one ERP software in the market today. When we talk about ERP, enterprise resource planning softwares, SAP is the number one ERP. We have other smaller ERPs also in the market. So for global tier 1 ERP system for large enterprises, we have SAP. It's very strong in manufacturing, oil and gas, logistics, finance, and large enterprises. It's known for deep industry functionality and integration capabilities. So this is the reason why SAP is better than any other ERP. That's not to say other ERPs cannot solve some of your specific problems. ERPs like Oracle, Microsoft Dynamics, Info Cloud Suite, and then we also have mid-market ERP systems for medium businesses. So these are for companies who cannot implement these giant ERP softwares like SAP, Oracle, and so on. So there is a simplified solution of SAP called SAP Business One, SAP Business by Design, that is available for mid businesses. We have NetSuite by Oracle, Epicor, ERP, we have Sage, and so on. Then we also have industry specific ERPs. Okay, for example, the software we use in supermarkets for posting out purchases, you know, maintaining inventory of goods in a supermarket. That's also an ERP. We have ERPs that are used in the hospitals for managing patients and so on. These are also ERPs, and these are industry specific ERP. We have also IFS application. This is mostly used in the aviation. Workday, Plex ERP. We have Odoo. So these are industry specific ERP. Then we have emerging and open source ERP solutions like Odoo, ERP Next, Acumatica. These are what emerging ERP and open source ERP solutions that are available. Now, who can learn SAP ERP? So we're going to narrow down, tailor this whole conversation around SAP. Who can learn SAP or who can learn ERP? And in this case, SAP ERP. So the answer is anybody can learn SAP. If you like, your background should be engineering, should be finance, your background should be political science, sociology, marine, aviation, whichever background you have does not count. You can still learn SAP and you understand SAP very well. So, however, SAP is in models. We have different models of SAP, and these models fit into different aspects of the organization. For example, the material management model, which is used for warehousing activity, procurement, contracting, and so on. We have sales model, we have maintenance model. So if you have this background, for example, if you are a buyer or a purchasing officer or a procurement analyst or specialist, then you are going to appreciate better. So is preferred for people with strong purchasing and inventory knowledge, while PM, which stands for plant maintenance model, is preferred for people with maintenance background and engineering. So you can actually choose a model that you can relate with better. Okay, that's not to say you cannot take any model. You cannot take a course in any model. Okay, so basically, it's easier for people who have this background to relate with these models that are related to such areas. But however, in our trainings, we teach you everything from scratch, from zero level to pro level. That's what we do in our training. The only thing, the only thing we require from you is your desire to learn. That's the only expectation we have from you. Why do we use ERP? Why do we use SAP ERP? Or ERPs generally, why do we use them in organizations? So ERP integrate functions like finance, supply chain, manufacturing, sales, HR, and procurement into one system. Like I explained before, once these various units of an organization are integrated together, you have one database where information is stored in this database, and everybody in the different departments are able to get this information from a single database, compared to when different departments create their own databases. So the only the people from those departments have accesses to these databases. But in this case, the data is available. Maybe there is a restriction by reason of authorization. If you are not, private to certain information, we simply restrict your access to those information. However, if that is not done, you can access any information for any department in the comfort of your office, very, very fast and very easy. Then also ERPs are used for standardization of systems across locations. So you have different systems, you can standardize them, improved efficiency and automation. ERP is so good at that. Better controlling of different business processes. So basically, we use ERP to control business processes, approval processes, um, all manner of controls that you want to put in place with ERP. It's possible. Standardization of processes, better visibility, and real-time reporting. You can simply generate a report from the pieces of data that users are generating in the system. You simply just run a report and you have everything, uh, you know, um, so easy. Scalability and support for growth, better compliance and security, enhanced collaboration. So with ERP, it's easy for different departments, different users to collaborate. Okay, to reduce these silos style of working in silos. So basically, these are the uses. These are the reasons why we use ERP. Best utilization of resources. You easily know what resources you have available, what resources have been utilized, what is pending, what is available, and so on. Resources like manpower, material, and machine. With ARP, this is very, very easy to manage. SAP functional models. So, like I mentioned earlier, SAP is a models. So, you need to choose one model, you know, take a training in that model and become certified in that model as a consultant for that model. So, we have the finance model, financial planning. This helps us to generate external financial reporting because all the financial um, transactions that are carried out in the system can be pulled out in form of a report so easily, and this will help businesses to make very fast decision. Controlling, this is for internal cost controlling and analysis. HCM and HR, human resources, for HR and payroll. SD, which is sales and distribution, sales, shipping, and billing. For material management, procurement and inventory, warehouse activities, and so on. CS, customer service. So after sales services, after selling your goods, you support customers via this model easily. PS, project system for project planning and tracking. PM for plant maintenance, asset and equipment maintenance. Ariba, TM, success factor. Warehouse management, quality management for product quality control. So these are some of the models. We have other models as well, uh, other SAP models. Then, however, these are functional models. These are models that users use on a day-to-day business activities. But there are models that you have consultants or have specialists who just sit somewhere and ensure that the system is functioning optimally. There is no downtime. basically like system controls, system administration, and so on. So for technical modules, we have the SAP Basis modules, and Basis stands for Business Application Software Integrated Solution. For system administration, SAP installation and maintenance. So Basis guys or Basis consultants are responsible for checking that the the system or the system configuration is suitable for SAP installation. They are also responsible for SAP installation, backup, security, and all such administrative tasks are done by Basis consultant. So the basis module is suitable for this purpose. SAP ABAP. ABAP means Advanced Business Application Programming. So programming and customization. So SAP is delivered with the standard features. However, if for any reason your business happens to deviate from the standard business practices and you need to customize it further to suit such specific needs, then you employ the services of ABAP model, and you have to get the ABAP consultants or ABAPers to play with the codes, play with the customization to achieve that aim. SAP NetWeaver, platform for integration and application. SAP PIPO, process integration, process orchestration for integration between SAP and other systems. So there are situations where you need to integrate SAP to communicate with other third-party systems. Okay, for example, if you want to simplify data input using another software, then you are able to link SAP or integrate SAP with that software. So with the use of this SAP module, PIPO, SAP HANA. HANA is the SAP proprietary database, and HANA means high performance analytic appliance. It's an in-memory database modeling. So HANA is the improved database version that SAP is using today. It is very fast. Data retrieval is so fast, and it is highly analytical. SAP BTP, Business Technology Platform, formerly SAP Cloud Platform, for cloud development and extensions. SAP BWBI, BWBI, that's Business Warehouse and Business Intelligence, for data warehousing and reporting. All reportings, basically, this BW's model is strictly for reporting. So there's an integration between um, the the SAP system and the business warehouse uh, model, where data is fetched from the database and analyzed in BW. So SAP Solution Manager, SOMAN, System Monitoring and Lifecycle Management. This model is a technical model for system monitoring and lifecycle management. SAP Fiori. Fiori is the new user interface in S4 HANA. So S4 HANA uses SAP Fiori for as a user interface. It's a front end user interface development which has Fiori apps or tiles that enable users to launch transactions, carry out different transactions. SAP security and GRC, governance, risk and compliance, is for security, authorization and compliance. So these are some of the technical models. So you can as well choose any of these technical models, take a training in them, and become consultant, become a specialist in this model. So we are able to guide you through uh, your choice of SAP model to begin with. We're able to guide you through, we're able to mentor you through this choice. Okay, SAP classical implementation landscape. So this just demonstrate or illustrates how customization or developments are done in the SAP system. So basically, each of these levels represent a client in SAP. The development system represents a different client, meaning a different database where development, configuration, all the configuration data are done in the development system. It's a separate system that is designed for projects, SAP projects. Okay, so all the projects are developed, they are designed, they are configured in the development system. After which the whole data is transported into the SAP QAS for testing. This is quality assurance system. Here you ensure that all your developments, everything you have done is working perfectly. You organize a UAT, user acceptance test, and then all the users come together to test the functionalities that you have developed in QAS system. Then once everything is working perfectly and the client or the company is satisfied, the data is now transported from QAS system to production live system. So for best practices, we do not make changes directly in this production or the live system, because the live system is being used by users at different locations. So any little change in the live system at any time could impact on a transaction that is currently ongoing. So we take our time to do the development in the development system, transport it for testing, and then we transport everything to the production system during low peak periods, as in low transaction periods when users are not using the system. We do this transfer. Okay. So what are the roles of a SAP support consultant, be it PM consultant, MM consultant, FI consultant, or any SAP support consultant? Basically, a SAP support consultant is that guy who knows a functional module of SAP and is seated in an organization to support the users, to ensure that users adhere to the business processes, and also help users uh, um, answer their issues, solve their issues, the error messages, interpret error messages, provide solution to these errors, so that the system is not uh, uh, stopped at any point. Okay, so the SAP support consultant ensures continuity, everyday continuity in the SAP system, so that there is no complaint whatsoever from any user. So the SAP consultant has all these roles here, roles and responsibility to be carried out in an organization. First is business process analysis and requirement gathering. So he can study the business, he can analyze all the requirements from the end users or from the stakeholders, gather them, and then simplify them in a form that can be, uh, translated into uh, um, a functionality in the system, either with the use of the ABAP module or other customization models. System configuration in SAP. Generally, the support consultant is able to configure the system, especially if there are changes. There's a change in the system. Maybe the approver has changed from Mr. A to Mr. B. They are responsible for making these changes in the system, configuring the system to be suitable to the day-to-day activities in an organization. Testing. During UAT, user acceptance test, the SAP support consultant is able to guide the users through the testing uh, sessions. Trainings and documentation. All manuals are created by the support consultant. Go live preparation and support. Post go live support and continuous improvement. Cross module integration, reporting, and KPI. So these are the roles or the functions of a SAP support consultant. The SAP R3 application. So we most times we see these things, but we don't understand what they are. SAP R3, you may have seen it a couple of times written somewhere, but this R3 simply stands for real time three tier architecture. So the three-tier architecture is based on the database that is behind for storage of data, then the GUI, which you are clicking buttons to get things done, and then the program that is driving this software. So the program itself, the database, and the GUI make up the SAP R3 application. And you can see that around it we have different models that make up the SAP R3 application. Navigation. So before you can have access to SAP, um, the one of the the technical consultants I mentioned there, whose responsibility is also user creation, authorization, and all those kind of user management, will create your user profile. Okay, so after creating your user profile, you will have the username and a password, and you're able to log into your profile using the username and password. So I'm going to demonstrate that here briefly. Um, so this is our SAP GUI. So if you double click on the server address is going to launch the SAP uh, uh, environment. So here you enter your username and the password, and again you must specify the client. So the client here is either the development client or the development system, the QA system or the production system. Okay, so at the end of the day, these clients, these different databases are linked together for flow of information between them. Okay, so after specifying your client, you enter and then system logs you into the home page of SAP. So here, this is your profile, and for you to be able to access any transaction code, either through the menu, sorry, through the three, or through the command field here, you must have access to that transaction. If I don't have access to IW21 transaction, system will return an error message that you are not authorized to use it. So transactions are given on a need to be basis. If your role requires you to have access to a particular transaction, then the business consultant will configure your profile and add authorization so you can be able to access that transaction. So this is the simple way to log into the SAP ECC system. So in a short while, I'm going to be showing you how to log into your SAP S4 HANA system. And I'm going to also be showing you the differences between SAP ECC, which is the older SAP version, and the new generation SAP, which is the S4 HANA, the SAP S4 HANA system. But shortly, I'll be showing you the differences between these two versions of SAP. So navigation. So basically, this is how you navigate to uh, your login page. So SAP ECC is basically made up of different data scattered everywhere. You can see the tiles and fields displayed here. It's so cumbersome. It's so some people call it annoying. It's so busy, just a lot of information, and this is some of the things that SAP has addressed in the S4 HANA. So as we go deeper to learn the differences between ECC and S4 HANA, you will understand this better. So this is a typical screenshot from the ECC 6.0 user interface. So again, when you're using your ECC um, system, you have the opportunity to use some of these smart uh, ways of accessing transaction. For example, this is a shortcut called /n. This will help you cancel the current session that you're in. Then if you introduce a transaction code after /n, for example /n IW26, when you are already in another transaction, system is going to cancel that transaction and then open the new transaction. So I'll just demonstrate that quickly. Um, so first of all, if I launch /n here directly, system is going to log me out. Okay, system is going to log me out. I need to also uh, um, I need to log back into the system, and again, if I'm already in a transaction code like MMBE, right, and I attempt to launch a new transaction like IW23, I won't be able to do that because I'm already on a transaction. System will not do anything. The only way out here is to introduce my slash n, then I launch IW21. Like this, system will kill this existing transaction and again open the new transaction. So you can see that this is the only transaction available. And we also have slash o. Slash o is used to cancel an existing, sorry, to launch a new transaction at the same time not cancel the old one. So MMB is the current transaction I'm in. I do not want to cancel this transaction. I simply want to launch a new one, and also in addition to this one, so slash o, then I'm going to launch IW21, and this is going to uh, open this create PM notification transaction. At the same time, I would retain my stock overview uh, transaction. So basically, that's how this works. Then again, you have slash n end, like slash nend. So this is useful, especially when you are in a haste and you want to log out. You simply say slash nend, and system will log you out. And before logging you out, system will ask you, do you want to log off? So this is logging you off with a query. Okay, so if I select yes, system logs me off. So I'm going to log in again. However, if I don't want system to ask me that question whether I want to log out, I just want to log out smartly, I will use slash o then. So this system is going to log me out. Hold on, slash o. System's going to log me out without asking me. Okay, but it looks like there's a little issue here. Just 1 second. Okay, so I'm logging back. This is my profile. So it's slash o, no transaction. All right, so basically, um, I do not know why system is not logging me out at this point. Slash n, but the slash o transaction usually will log you out without asking you for any questions. Okay, sorry, I was mixing it up. So actually, the transaction what I used initially was slash nend, which log me out with a question. So if I don't want it to ask me a question, I will use slash next. So this is exactly what I was trying to do. Okay, so I'm just mixing it up. All right. So next is screen layout. So this simply explains some of the screen layouts or some of the buttons we have in our SAP screen. We have the command field, we have the menu bar, we have the standard toolbar, the title bar, application toolbar, the checkboxes. So I will quickly show you some of these toolbars. So I will log in again. I will log in again. So here you have the menu bars. I have the menu, edit menu, favorite menu, extras. This is the command field where you type your transaction code. Sometimes this command field could be hidden like this, but you can still open it back. Then here we have the standard toolbars. These are standard buttons that are always here on any ACP installation. While here you have what the um, you have the application toolbars. Yeah, this application, they are dedicated to applications. Any application you launch, for example, if I launch IW28, the application toolbars will change. So now I have just 3 buttons. So it's going to bring up only buttons that are relevant for this application. So you have also the status bar. This is the status bar. You can see the status of this current session. So any of these, you can decide to put in a dot on any of them, and that becomes the default display. If you want to see the user that is logged in, you put it on the user. If you want to see the transaction code, So if I put it on a transaction code, it means if I launch IW21, then it's going to be showing at the bottom here. So this shows you, this is the status of the screen, or this session that you're in. Then you also have um, um, title bar. This is your title bar where you have SAP Easy Access. Any application you launch or any transaction code you launch, you will see the title display here. So this tells you what transaction you are currently logged in. So these are some of the simple things that you can do, and even more uh, functionalities are available, which will have already prepared in our official training once you subscribe. Okay. Then you have the radio button. You also have the check boxes. Check boxes enable you to check multiple options at a time, while radio button, one option at a time. You have the tab strip. Tab strip is basically a smart way of organizing fields in a SAP screen. For example, if I launch a SAP screen like this, and then I enter the equipment number here, I'm going to see these are tab strips. Okay, so basically inside all each of these tab strips we have other data, okay, available. So the data available in location, we have maintenance plan, location, room, and so on. If you go to organization, you have different data sets or different fields. Here you go to structure. So it's a smart way of organizing this. Okay, it would have been messy if we just list out all this information in these various tab strips on one screen. So it's a smart way of compressing it. You can even have more of it here. You can see all these are tab strip with information in there. So that's what tab strip is all about. Then we have standard SAP and menu and favorite menu. Okay, so at the home page of your SAP GUI, you have the favorite and the SAP menu. So the SAP menu houses all the transaction codes for the different modules. If you want to go to material management module, you will see transaction codes related to purchasing down here. So once you expand up to this point where you are seeing these white squares, white boxes, you're going to see that the transaction code is right there. And if you double click on it, it's going to launch that transaction and you begin to make your inputs. All right, so again, for the favorite menu, this one is just there to make work easy for you, just to organize your transaction code in such a way that you don't have to start looking for them here. So for example, if I want to add more transaction code here, I can just move it and place it there. It's right there. I move this one also here, or you can even create a brand new folder. Right click on the favorite, insert folder, and then type maybe test folder. So like this, you have added a new folder. Then you can move transaction codes into that folder. So anytime you need specific transaction codes, you just need to go to the favorite and you find them there. So if you double click, you are good. Okay. So now we are going to begin to see the newer version of uh, SAP. This called the SAP S4 HANA Fiori. SAP S4 HANA basically. So SAP S4 HANA comes with S4 HANA Fiori Launchpad, and this is exactly how it is. It's an adaptive interface. So this can work on your laptop, on your desktop, all right, and again it can work on your tablets and then also on your phone. So it is different from the traditional um, GUI that we just discussed in ECC, in that instead of using transaction code, it has the apps. These are apps similar to the apps we have in our mobile phones. Okay, you can see this is a phone and these apps are here. You just need to click on any of these boxes. Each of these boxes represent an app and they are for different transactions. Okay, so This Fiori run on a browser. It is browser based and it is mobile friendly. You see, it runs on mobile devices, and again, it's easy to navigate. Okay, so I'm going to play a short video here that will show you how to, launch your Fiori Launchpad. You can even launch your Fiori Launchpad the from the normal GUI, the normal SAP GUI. Okay, so this will show you how to launch your Fiori. So right here in the command field, you introduce a transaction code that will launch the Fiori launchpad. So Fiori is a word in is a German word for flower. Okay, it's a flower. So UI2 slash FLP is a transaction code, right? So if you enter, then system is going to launch your Fiori Launchpad for you, your S4 HANA Fiori Launchpad. So it is quite different from the traditional GUI. So there you won't find any transaction code. So this is your FLP Fiori Launchpad. This is exactly how it looks like. Okay, so it is made up of tiles. This is tile. This is a tile. This is a tile, TILE, or is an app. You can call it an app. So these are app groups or tile groups. So all the apps that are similar are grouped under the billing inbox. Then other tiles that are also similar are grouped under preliminary billing document. You can see here preliminary billing document has four apps. So if you go to billing documents, you also see apps that are used for that purpose. So this is exactly how your S4 HANA Fiori look like. In short time, you no longer be having that GUI interface. Everything will change to this format, to this Fiori Launchpad. Okay, so as you prepare yourself to embrace S4 HANA, just know that your system interface is going to change to this look. Okay, so it's very easy to use. Just click the button to launch a transaction, and then you see where to input your data, and it's very, very easy. And the good thing about this is um, it is S4 HANA is so analytical in nature to the point that some of these apps even have analysis. Like you can see, this is showing zero, meaning that there's zero items in your inbox. So as we go further, you understand what I mean. Okay, so this is how you started your Fiori. Okay, so you can run it. There are two ways to start the Fiori Launchpad: directly using the URL. You can type the URL in the browser and then you launch it and it opens. So it will also open where to enter your username and password depending on the setting in your organization, or you can launch it from an existing no, traditional GUI using that transaction UI2 slash FLP. You're going to have your uh, Fiori Launchpad. Then in the Fiori apps, the Fiori apps are divided into three different types. We have three different types of Fiori apps. So we have Fiori apps for create, change, display, or post. These kind of apps are called transactional apps. Okay, they are called transactional app. You use it to launch a create transaction, or change transaction, or display transaction, or post a transaction. We also have other apps that are analytical, visual display, KPI and metrics. You can see these are transactional apps, these are analytical apps. You can see graph showing numbers and so on. Then we have other apps that are just fact sheet, right? Fact sheet here just show you information. It displays only what? Text, only information and pictures. Okay, so these are the three different types of apps, Fiori apps we have. Then you can also customize your Fiori Launchpad to suit your need. You decide what apps displays here. You can see some of these apps are what analytical in nature. So if you don't want any app to be displayed here, you can customize your Fiori Launchpad profile. And again, also your administrator will decide what apps are showing on your profile. So S4 HANA enterprise management, you can see the models. Um, uh, SAP has done a lot of changes in their system, especially in the S4 HANA system. Even the models have changed. Okay, the traditional models we know, the FI and CO, FICO, the human resource model, the material management model, a lot has changed about them. Also, including changes like even the naming, okay, of these models. Before we had FICO, finance and control, but today we have just finance. It's merged together into one word, finance. Then the human resource model is the same. Sourcing and procurement is the model we used to know as material management. So in S4 HANA, we do not have any model like material management again. We simply have sourcing and procurement. So this naming is just to capture the extent to which this model, the extent to the functionalities available in this model. We have supply chain, we have manufacturing, marketing, sales, service. These are all S4 HANA models. Then for plant maintenance, also the name has changed to asset management, no longer plant maintenance. Now, SAP HANA platform. So, like I told you, like I explained before, HANA is what? The SAP proprietary database. Okay, and the HANA platform is made up of all these uh, sub uh, functions. We have the SAP HANA appliance software, we have the SAP HANA database, we have the SAP HANA cloud application, SAP HANA Studio, and so on. So this is what makes up the SAP HANA platform. And the SAP HANA is an in-memory computing platform. So S4 HANA deployment options. So if you have the intention of running S4 HANA in your organization, you have the option of choosing the on-premise option, which everything is on your premises. You have a server in your organization where you manage the backup, the security, the upgrades, and so on yourself. So the customer will buy the license and operate the system. That's on premise. Then you also have the option of the cloud base. Okay, so you simply rent the software and SAP operates or manage it. Okay, all the backup, all the how do you call it, all the upgrades, the updates are done by SAP even without your knowledge. Okay, so once there's a new update, SAP will just push the updates to the cloud and then system is updated. Then you also have the option of running hybrid. Okay, combining the combination of both operating models like the premise and the cloud. You can have this both. Then mobile, customer uses mobile devices to connect to his own on-premise solution or to the cloud system. So these are the deployment options available for SAP S4 HANA. SAP Cloud Platform. So if you choose the cloud platform, then you can either choose the public cloud, managed cloud, or enterprise cloud. So for public cloud here, this is what it contains. Various customers share one environment in the public cloud. SAP deploys the system. It is SAP themselves that deploy the system. Customer has limited influence. Okay, web-based, only end user access. Okay, also known as software as a service. So if you are running the public cloud option, this is what is obtainable. For the managed cloud here, managed private cloud is one customer per cloud. Okay, is different from the public cloud where you have various customers. Here too, SAP deploys the system. Customer has limited influence, end user access, both web based and traditional. Okay. Then for enterprise cloud here, one customer per cloud, SAP deploys the system. Customer influence is part of the model, and end user access both web and traditional. So these are the different options available in the cloud platform. So this is a transition, okay, from business client interface to GUI and now the Fiori Launchpad. Now these are the differences between ECC, and ECC means ERP Central Component, and S4 HANA. Okay, so S4 HANA and ECC different technologies. So SAP has improved on the technology of S4 HANA system. So these are basically the very prominent differences between ECC and S4 HANA. Okay, ECC, which stands for ERP Central Command, is the traditional on-premise ERP system from SAP released in early 2000s. Okay, then the S4 HANA SAP Business Suite 4 SAP HANA using SAP HANA database is the next generation ERP redesigned to run exclusively on HANA in memory database, that is a SAP proprietary database, introduced in 2015 as SAP Modern ERP suite. Okay, so again, for ECC, it can run on any supported relational database like Oracle, IBM, DB2, Microsoft SQL. Okay, these are relational databases that have a lot of tables. Okay, and these tables are linked together. For you to retrieve data, sometimes you have to combine the tables and retrieve the data. But for S4 HANA, it runs only on SAP HANA in-memory columnar database, fast processing, and real-time analytics. So ECC uses complex tables, like I mentioned, complex tables, traditional database tables, e.g., several index and aggregated tables like all manner of tables, BSEG, BSIG, uh, BSARS, different kinds of tables that exist in this ECC. Okay, Mara, different kinds of table actually. Then for S4 HANA, we have simplified data model, removes many aggregates and index tables. It uses ACDOCA Universal Journal to store all financial data in one table. So you can see for this is an example of the table existing in S4 HANA. All the financial data are stored in one table. So no need of splitting different tables as it was done in this ECC. So uses SAP GUI, graphical user interface, mostly traditional, text heavy. But for S4 HANA, it uses Fiori. Okay, it's a modern rule-based web and mobile-friendly interface. I showed you Fiori in a past slide. This contains traditional modules like FI, CO, MM, SD, PP, PM, etc. with some functional limitations. But in S4 HANA, there was a reimagined, it was reimagined models with some merged or renamed. I showed you how some models were renamed, how some are merged together. So there was this a reimagination, a reconstruction of these models to suit their functionalities. So reporting in ECC relies on a separate module called BW, okay, a separate analytical system for complex analysis. But for S4 HANA, it's built in real-time analytics using HANA. So no need for separate BW in many cases. Like you see, just by launching your Fiori, you're already seeing some analytics, okay, are already displaying there. So if you use some of the analytical apps, you will see very rich analysis that are displayed real time. You don't need to go to any BW or any separate module to link to the database and export data and begin to analyze. No, it was too much of a work in ECC. Custom development mainly done with ABAP within the ECC system. But for S4 HANA, custom development or customization done using ABAP plus SAP BTP, Business Technology Platform. So it's easier. There's some Fiori apps that are designed for this customization. You don't need to have special programming knowledge of ABAP before you can do certain custom developments. Primarily on premise. ECC run on premise 100%. Here we have multi-deployment option. You can run it on the cloud, on premise or hybrid. So SAP has announced end of mainstream support by 2027. So by 2027, SAP will cut off support for ECC completely. Okay, so that's why companies are beginning to have talks around migrating from ECC to S4 HANA. So S4 HANA is SAP's strategic future ERP platform. So whenever SAP consultants or companies require SAP consultants to implement any SAP model, these are the phases that we go through. So we have the prepare phase, explore phase, realize, and deploy. So in the prepare phase, this is where you do project preparation, self enablement, and then you interact with what the initial existing system. Okay, so here it is simply start with executable content, what you have. Then the explore phase here you release and sprint plan, configuration values, gap closure, solution validation. So here basically verify solution scenarios meet business need. Then in the realize phase, you now begin to translate this scenario, business scenarios, and configure them, okay, with the functionalities that are available in SAP. You walk through them, and then you do data migration from the legacy system that was on ground before this implementation. Maybe Excel, maybe Access, maybe Oracle database, maybe even other ERPs, okay, that existing, okay, before SAP implementation. You do migration of data that was already created by those legacy systems into SAP. Then you test. So this is where you also carry out user acceptance test in the QAS system. Then after that, you move the data into the production system. You go live, cut over, organization preparation. So cut over begins here at this phase, the deploy phase. So these are the phases we go through during SAP implementation process. Okay, so thank you for your time. Just to reiterate that Jez Limited is available, is a is an SAP company and also an IT consulting firm that uh, um, is blessed with very sound consultants who are ready to help you, who are ready to mentor you, who are ready to respond to your business needs at any time. So do not hesitate to reach out to us if you need any of our services, ranging from SAP implementation, migration, training, support, and all your SAP and IT needs. Thank you very much. We look forward to hearing from you uh, um, as soon as you make up your mind. Then again, you for you to have access to such kinds of video, SAP video, even training videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just check Jez Limited on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so that anytime we drop a new video relating to SAP or IT, you will be alerted and you can quickly be the first person to go through that video to get the information. At the moment, this is just a tip of an iceberg that we have dropped for all of you who are watching this video right now. We have a lot in intact and prepared. We're 100% prepared to mentor those of you who have interest in learning SAP. Thank you. I'm signing out now.